This time on Atlas Unlimited, we take on the Wild Atlantic Way.
So we're on our way right now to Muckross Abbey.
It's kind of crazy that this tree has been here since 16th, 17th century. Hello. That's a lot more of a grab.
This is what Halloween feels like when you have too many kids.
Oh my gosh. Why? Why is she right there?
Our Wild Atlantic Way adventure starts in the Black Valley, one of the most secluded bits of countryside in the entire Emerald Isle. So secluded, in fact, that it had no electricity until 1976 and no phone lines until 2007. But being out here, I can't say it was missing out on much. Waking up to fog gently rolling over the hills and the sound of sheep playing in the fields, it's a quintessential Irish experience. The pristine morning sun is matched only by the sound of JC's shivers. Why is that the best seat in the house?
Because it's by the only heater in the entire house. That kind of works. This is the smallest little bathroom heater I've ever seen. And it's freezing in this house. It is like, feels like it's 20 degrees and the floor is tile. And so everywhere is cold.
After adding a few more layers, we step out into the cold and speed off to Ireland's oldest and largest national park, Killarney National Park. It's home to Ireland's largest mountain range, the McGilcuddy's Reeks, and over a quarter of the park is covered in beautiful lakes like Loch Lean and Muckross Lake. The forests in Killarney are also one of the few places in Ireland where forests have been continually growing for 10,000 years. And deep in one of these forests lies our next destination, one that's eluded me for years.
So we're on our way right now to the Muckross Abbey. And I have some unfinished business here because last time I came to Ireland, we hiked around for like 30 minutes trying to figure out how to get there. We couldn't find it.
On my last trip to Ireland, my brothers and I took a wrong turn and probably ended up in some poor Irishman's backyard. But this time, I've got the determination and navigational skills of my wife to finally make it to Muckross Abbey.
We're hiking along here. I think it's supposed to be pretty close, but fingers crossed I'll actually get to see it this time. So let's go.
The land around Muckross Abbey is home to natural farms and pastures showcasing Ireland's rich agricultural history. JC's horse obsession is boiling close to the surface as we pass the stables. At last, as we round the corner, my eyes catch a glimpse of what could only be one thing.
So I can actually see it up over there. So I think we've officially found it. I don't know what else that thing would be, but I'm super excited.
This is it. This is it. We found it. We completed your last mission.
We made it to Muckross Abbey. Muckross Abbey was founded in 1448 by local chieftain Donal McCarthy Moore on a site called the Carrick na Cúil, which translated means the Rock of Music. The chieftain's great-grandfather chose the site after a vision he had of angels playing music there. The abbey is built in a Gothic style and in the traditional cruciform floor plan. This means that the main chamber forms a cross when viewed from the air.
So we finally made it, and I think it was well worth the little expedition. The amount of different spaces here that are just...
Kind of feels a little bit like a labyrinth. Like you'll think you're at the end of something and then you'll see like a little split off tunnel and lots of pillars and access to different rooms.
It almost feels like elven in certain places, like with the tree.
In the center of the abbey, a lone ancient yew tree adorns the courtyard.
It's kind of crazy that this tree has been here since this building. So what, 16th, 17th century? It's a long time. But this building has actually been, well, it's been raided a lot, and so there's been continual damage to it over the years. So they've actually had to reconstruct it quite a few times, lots of repairs, but it still looks gorgeous.
If you plan to visit Muckross Abbey yourself, be prepared to share.
It's amazing that this structure's still here, that it wasn't all demolished with the raids, and it's quite amazing.
It's really popular too. I mean, as far as places to go, there's a lot of buses just flooding people in and out of it.
Almost every hour.
Yeah, it's hard to get shots of, we've been doing some 360 walkthrough stuff, and it's hard to get shots without people in it. So you might see us and
a little bit here and there.
Some girl with a really hot pink coat that keeps showing up in the background, so sorry about that.
Oh,
but
okay,
she was thoroughly enjoying it, so.
You know, of course, there's actually still a lot more burials here every year, so it's still currently used.
I can see a lot of people that are new graves that have been buried out there pretty recently. It seems like, I mean, they're not very weathered. It's obvious that they're newer stones, and so it'd be a pretty cool place to be buried, not gonna lie.
Well, it was the burial ground of a lot of the local chieftains. It is cool to see, some of the engraves and,
engravings, yeah.
Engravings.
Yeah, no, you got it. All in all, I think I could spend an entire day just wandering around here. It's definitely one of the highlights of the trip so far.
How can you find a bad part of the trip, though?
I know, right? That's not very possible.
So far, we've spent a blissful morning in the Black Valley, trekked through Ireland's forests to find the ancient Muckross Abbey. Now it's time to hit the road again and follow the Wild Atlantic Way to our next destination. Our next leg of the drive will take us through the Gap of Dunloe, a narrow passage leading from Killarney National Park out towards the ocean. And when I say narrow, I mean narrow. One car at a time narrow. The Gap of Dunloe was formed 25,000 years ago during the last ice age, when a glacier broke off and carved out 7 miles of land as it made its way through the valley. Passing over the famous Wishing Bridge, our only desire is to make this trip last forever. And if you want to see more of these trips yourself, check out our Instagram. As we pass the last of Dunloe's 5 lakes, we say goodbye to Killarney for the last time, and head straight for the Atlantic Ocean and the fresh, salty air. The fresh, cold, salty air.
Jay-Z?
The Wild Atlantic Way is one of the world's longest continuous coastal routes, stretching 1,700 miles, from Cork in southern Ireland up to Mainhead in northern Ireland. Along the way, there are over 1,000 different points of interest, like Neolithic sites, old religious settlements, and traditional farms.
So where are we and what are we doing here?
We're at the Ubig Fort.
Dunbeg.
Dunbeg. I was reading the sign. I was like, oh crap, Kim's gonna be mad.
We're at the Ubig
But the D, look at it. It looks like an O. O-U-N, beg.
You're not wrong.
The D's like this. Like that, I don't know. When I took Spanish, that was an O with the little thingy on top of it, so.
Okay.
We've heard rumors of an old fort along our path that sounds like an enticing place to explore first. Located just south of Slieve Head in the Dingle Peninsula, Dunbeg Fort was built around 500 BC and still stands to this day, depending on how you define standing.
Honestly, it's a lot more roped off than we saw it on the side of the road. My guess is it's a little more fragile or a little more attractive to the vandalists, people who like to toss rocks, the rock tossers of the world.
I can see why they have the fences, but it was pretty funny because a group of tourists came in after us, super hyped, like, oh man, this is gorgeous. Like, yeah, where's the fort? Where's the fort? Looking around, they see it and just like hope just dwindles from their eyes, and they just kind of like, oh, okay, and then take a photo and just walk away.
With 1,000 points of interest, not all of them are going to be winners. it's still an impressive structure and makes for a great place to stop and stretch your feet along the road.
I just think even when something doesn't meet our expectations, we still want to be here. Yeah, it's where one window closes, another one opens, namely that gorgeous cliffsides.
The west of Ireland is as picturesque as they come. Its landscapes have been the backdrop of blockbuster movies and TV shows like Star Wars, Game of Thrones, and Harry Potter. The island's pastures, bogs, and cliffs instantly transport you to magical worlds. Now, instead of watching them through a screen, we get to venture inside of them. And it does not disappoint. But little did we know, a darker world was waiting for us down the road.
He came all the way over. Did you see me? Did you want a friend? So we started coming up here, and obviously we were welcomed by Cedric. That's our personal name for him. And at first I was thinking he just wanted to be my best friend, but really, he knew the food was coming.
We caught wind of a famous local stop called the Famine House, a recreation of the living conditions that existed at the time of the Great Potato Famine, and we're determined to see it for ourselves.
It's like $3 per person or €3 per person to get into the famine houses, but then you get food to feed all the animals. Oh, well, hello. They all know it's feeding time. Did you want some too? Oh, Cedric's gonna be jealous. Sorry, buddy. Oh my heck. Do you hear the sound he makes? He's like, so cute.
As spooky as the tales we've heard are, the pathway up to it seems pleasant enough.
They're all coming now. Oh my gosh, Kim. We've got the nativity scene happening right now.
Whole nativity's on its way over.
I know. Oh my gosh. Well, hello, Horsey. Hello. That's a lot more of a grab.
Hi.
It's great.
That's so
What
good.
are you gonna name this one?
Oh, Presley.
Presley. I like it.
It's a good one.
Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Don't worry. Don't. Oh, geez. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Oh gosh, that guy's a little.
He knows his friends are here
angry.
to take it.
I'm kind of scared. We'll go for you. Oh, my goodness. Yes, hello. Is this what Halloween feels like when you have too many kids? Oh my gosh.
The further up the path we walk, the less the animals seem to want to follow us. Finally, as we reach the top, an air of uneasiness sets in.
His hair is like coming off.
Suddenly, the stories of ghost sightings and strange occurrences make more sense. From the outside, the house looks like a typical Irish cottage, but the inside paints a tragic story.
I'm gonna say that like this is kind of freaky.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Look at did you see that girl in there?
Yes, she looks like she just got murdered.
Like she's possessed.
Yeah, looks like she ran away from a murder.
The Irish potato famine was one of the lowest points in Ireland's history. In 1845, a deadly strain of mold swept across Ireland's potato crops, destroying their food supplies. Britain's tax on imported grain, along with its quotas on exported grain for the British Empire, left Ireland's population of 8 million people sitting ducks.
All right, the beehive hut. This was prehistoric Celtic times. Were used by the recluses, early Christian monks. The fact that this has stood here this long and they haven't had to like redo it is pretty impressive. Doesn't say that it's had to be redone.
The power of putting one heavy thing on top of another.
Yeah, seriously. It's like the most basic concept of a house and has lasted the longest.
I think you can go in here. Keep coming. Wow. Potato famine. Before the famine, the Irish had been among the healthiest people in Europe. Their usual daily diet was potatoes. These comprised perhaps 60% of the food for the people in general, but close to 100% for those in the poorer west and southwest regions of the country. This was the most important crop for them. It basically fed everyone, especially the poor. So having that famine come in and just wipe out what was the main staple food source for everybody is just insane.
Once Ireland had recovered in 1852, 1 million people died and another million fled the country. Ireland's population would not recover until the 1970s, and their soured relationship with the British government would be a contributing factor in the Irish civil wars to come.
I wouldn't want to have a Wicca board near at this moment.
A Wicca board? You mean a Ouija board?
Dang it, Ouija board, yes.
Close.
That's a JC-ism for you.
Close.
I think we're kind of on the dot. A little bit of. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that freaked me out.
Oh my heck. Why? Why is she right there?
That is like the creepiest thing I've seen.
Like line of, like her eye line is like here. Like
she's
right
looking
here.
at people coming in.
Whether intentional or not, the famine house does an excellent job of recreating the horrors of the potato famine.
These look really real, especially in the dark.
With all the shadows and stuff. Yeah. I'm gonna walk this way. There's a movie called The Exorcism.
Exorcist.
Exorcist, that's one.
Okay, I've never seen it, but.
And it happens in the basement. And this is truly, like, it looks pretty similar to this, not gonna lie. Oh, the smell is so weird. Oh, I don't like it. Oh my gosh, there's a closet. H, no, I'm not going near that.
You want to open the closet?
No,
You want to go inside the closet?
No, I'm totally not going inside.
Go check
That's
it out.
a weird thing to do. Oh gosh, Kimmy's creepier than the kid.
Ah!
You butt. Gonna beat you. I told you I had to pee, and that's what you do. You suck. Yeah, I'm good. No.
It's a relief to put the famine house in our rearview mirror. Our day driving the Wild Atlantic Way has given us more than we could have asked for. A slice of suspense and paradise along the west coast of Ireland. Although the sun is beginning to set, she won't leave without saying goodbye in spectacular fashion. As we speed off to our last adventure in Ireland, may we someday find our way back to the Wild Atlantic Way. Next time on Atlas Unlimited.
So this used to be the only access to this pool at all. It was super rainy, like sideways.
Oh, here we go. We've got him right down here.
Turning to Kim like, what? We get to stay here for dinner? Like that, what?